What's going on with the Grounded animated series? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. So for anybody that's not aware, in July of 2022, it was announced that Xbox video game Grounded had a animated TV series in the works. So this article came out from Deadline. They were the first to break it. I'm just going to quickly skim through it. So Grounded is the latest video game that is being adapted as a TV series. The Xbox video game was inspired by A Bug's Life and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's being adapted by Star Wars Clone Wars writer Brent Friedman. It marks the latest video game to get the television treatment following the likes of Netflix Arcane and Paramount Plus's Halo, and then since then, Fallout obviously has had a successful first season of its show. The series, which exists in the same universe as the game, follows four friends who summer before high school plan big things to elevate their social standing, but their plans are upended when they stumble upon a shrinking technology that makes them 2 inches tall. Obviously, it's following along with the video game. Now, the four shrunken friends must learn to survive in a towering backyard that's a jungle full of enormous predators and hiding a vast corporate conspiracy threatening their entire town. The game was released via early access in July 2020 and had over 10 million players. Since then, it's had over 20 million and will be launched wider in September. So obviously, this is 2 years old. This is before the 1.0 release. Obsidian Entertainment and Xbox are adapting the game into a series in association with Waterproof Studios, SC Productions, Kinetic Media, and Bardell Entertainment. Friedman, who also wrote on Star Trek Enterprise and is adapting Earthworm Jim into a series, that's another video game from way back when, will craft the story with Brian Goodrich, who worked on the Halo video game, attached to direct. The move comes as the development team will be hosting an in-person booth and interactive zone at San Diego's Comic-Con in July. The show will then be taken to Kidscreen and MIPCon later this year. That never happened as far as I know. We couldn't be more excited about diving into the whimsical universe of Grounded. The partnership will be one of the great collaboration, expanding on an already wonderful journey of exploration and adventure, said Tina Chow, CEO, Bardell Entertainment. Team and Obsidian have created an incredible world that has already grabbed the attention of the gaming community. We are excited to work with our incredible partners to bring the story of life in an animated series, added Carl Whitehead, MD, WPS, whatever, Productions. So it's been 22 months, nearly 2 years since the announcement of the Grounded animated television series. A lot has happened in that time. Most notably, the 1.0 release for Grounded, which occurred about 2 months after this initial announcement, which happened in September of 2022. Since then, Grounded has received 4 major updates and some minor updates in between. The most recent major update, which was said to be the final planned content update for the game, Fully Yoked update, occurred in April of 2024. At the same time, the game was ported to PlayStation 4 and 5 as well as Nintendo Switch. We do know that the game was in the top 25 on the PlayStation Store for some amount of time. We do not know how many copies it sold or how much money it generated on either the PlayStation platform or the Nintendo platform. We also were told last week that the Casually Grounded live stream, which has been going pretty consistently for about 3.5 years, will be coming to an end on May 29th, which is next week as I'm recording this. So that's going to be the final update. That's going to be the final live stream for the developers. And at the same time, all these things have happened. What has not been happening? There's 2 major things that have not happened. One was the developers have been asked during the Casually Grounded live streams if they could provide any updates on the animated television series. And when I've heard that question being asked, the answer was always, we're not working on it, so we can't really comment on it. So there's really been no news from them. There's also been no other news or press releases at all from anywhere. I haven't seen anything. I scoured the internet looking for any type of updates, and everything pointed me back to this original article that occurred in July of 2022. Everything mentioned on any website was always pointing back to this original announcement. The only thing that I could find since then was Reddit speculation where people were saying, is it still happening? Is it not still happening? So there's been no real news. So I guess at this point in time, the question is going to be, is the animated television series still going to happen? So I kind of broke it down and looked at some of the positives that could point towards it happening, but also some of the negatives that could look towards it maybe just being completely canceled. So starting off with the positives, the biggest positive is there's been no announcement that it has been canceled. So as far as we could tell, it could still be in the works. No news, I guess you could look at as good news in this case. So without confirmation saying no, it's not being worked on anymore, we could just logically assume that it's still being worked on. Additionally, Xbox doesn't typically put out a lot of press releases or advertise for many things. If you look back at the last couple of years, when you look at the marketing for Xbox products, you're going to see heavily focus on Game Pass. And then the only games or anything that I've seen any type of marketing for were Starfield and a little bit for Redfall. Even the Fallout show, I did not really see much build up for it. At least I didn't see it. Maybe it was there, but I didn't see it. And that's taken off really like huge. That was going to be the third positive I was going to mention was the, I guess, probably the unexpected success of the Fallout show. So the Fallout show, which is on Amazon, I believe, ended up, they dropped the first season and it was just a super hit. I think it was the top watched show on Amazon. It ended up driving a lot of people to go back and play some of the old Fallout games, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 76. It got some of those games. I might have gotten all 3 of those games to record high player counts on Steam. and they definitely shot up in the charts on the Xbox Most Played as well. So the success of that television show could be an indicator that maybe they would be still moving forward with additional shows, including this grounded animated series. So getting to the negatives, what would be signs that maybe it's been canceled? Well, like I said, no news could be a good sign, but it also, to me, is a concerning sign. I would almost think that at this point, with it being nearly 2 years, and with the game wrapping up with its updates and the developer live streams, that they would at least put out something, maybe a teaser, or just say, hey, we're working on this and we expect it to come out in, I don't know, 2025, 2026, whenever it will possibly be coming out, or at the very least show like a little short 15 or 30-second teaser trailer. But that hasn't happened up to this point. Additionally, Grounded's not going to be getting any more updates. So up until recently, Grounded was still getting updates. I'll be honest, I was completely surprised by that. I thought after 1.0, it might get a couple patches here or there, but the developers were allowed to stick with it for about a year and a half after its full release, still updating it. But like I said, the 1.4 update, which just happened in April, is said to be the last planned content update. So that game's not going to be getting updated anymore, which means I would guess interest in the game and the series itself is going to slowly start to fall off as less people are playing the game. And then lastly, I already mentioned, was the Casually Grounded live stream ending. I will say I'm a little surprised by this, but then I'm also not surprised. Honestly, I was surprised that it was allowed to continue for so long, but with them updating the game, I guess it made sense. They wanted to kind of keep interest in the game, keep people engaged with it so that when the updates came out, they will come back to it. I will say that at this point, with I guess no more updates happening for the game, it kind of does make sense for them to just stop, to like basically just fade away and not do any more of the live streams, because there's not going to really be much to show off at this point since everybody's already seen everything and already done anything. So I mean, but ending that at this point, I mean, I think that is the actual sign that the development team is probably being moved on to some other project, whether that be a different game, or I know some people have speculated maybe they're going to be working on a sequel. Again, I've said I would love to see a sequel to Grounded, but personally, I don't think it's going to happen right now with what's going on at Microsoft and Xbox specifically. They seem to be heavily focusing on trying to create blockbuster games, and they look like they're going to be moving away from the smaller niche games like Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, games like that, which were all great games, but weren't really big money makers for Xbox. They may have got some people to sign up for Game Pass, but again, they're not the huge games. It's not like if Call of Duty comes day one to Game Pass, that may see a surge. I know when Starfield came to Game Pass, they had a little bit of a surge in signups for Game Pass, but we have no idea if those people stuck around or not. So it looks like they're kind of pushing more towards AAA games or bigger games, live service games, where they can generate long-term revenue rather than these little short games that are the little smaller games that people will play for a week or two and then move on and not really spend a lot of extra money in it because they don't have microtransactions. But I guess at this point, what do I kind of think? I would say this. There's two events upcoming in the next couple of weeks that I would say would kind of like solidify where I think the animated television series stands. And I'll just say right now, I absolutely want to see this animated television series happen, even if the game's not getting any more updates, even if they're not going to do a sequel to the game, anything like that at any point. I loved Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I love this video game, and I would hope that if the television series comes out, that it'll be a great television series. I think it'll appeal to both fans of the game as well as maybe some younger people or even older people that are like my age that grew up with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, might come back and watch this television series and see how it is. Even if it's only a season or two, it would be great to have. But right now, I would say that the last Casually Grounded live stream is scheduled for May 29th, so that's about a week after I'm recording this. And I would say if they don't make any announcement during that, or a couple weeks later at the Summer Games Fest in June, where Microsoft, or Xbox specifically, has its own, I think it's an Xbox Showcase or whatever it's called, that's on June 9th. If there's no mention of this animated television series at either one of those events, then I would say that I will be leaning towards that they're just going to kind of not mention this anymore, and it's just going to slowly fade away out of people's memories, and it's not going to happen. I hope that they do show something off. It'd be great maybe at the end of the last Casually Grounded live stream to end it by showing the animated series, maybe like a 15 or 30-second clip. If not there, the Summer Games Fest will make the most sense. If it's not mentioned there, I just really think it's going to be unlikely that we're going to see the animated television series. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to this? Do you think it's happening? Do you think it's not? No mention of the animated television series in the last 2 years. I think it could go either way, but hopefully it happens, but I won't be too surprised if it doesn't. Anyway, if you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.